At the family reunion in front of 50-plus relatives, my dad put his arm around me and introduced me as the mistake we kept. But hey, at least he turned out okay. So while everyone laughed uncomfortably, I didn't make a scene. I just quietly left, blocked every single family member's number, and moved across the country without telling anyone. 2 years later, they hired a private investigator to find me because I disappeared without explanation. It was a warm Saturday in July, the kind of day meant for cheap hot dogs and forced smiles. 50-plus relatives were crammed into my uncle's backyard for the annual family reunion. I was 24 at the time, minding my own business near the cooler, when my dad decided it was time for a toast. He clinked his glass with a fork, wrapped a heavy, sweaty arm around my shoulders, and grinned at the massive crowd. And here he is, my dad announced, his voice booming over the chatter. The mistake we kept. But hey, at least he turned out okay, right? Silence fell over the yard for a split second. 50 people. 50 members of my so-called bloodline. No one defended me. No one told him he crossed a line. Instead, a few ants chuckled nervously. My older brother smirked and took a sip of his beer. My mom just looked down at her potato salad, refusing to make eye contact with me. That was the exact moment my heart turned to absolute ice. I didn't yell. I didn't throw my drink in his face or make some dramatic, tearful speech about respect. I just smiled a dead, empty smile, gently removed his heavy arm from my shoulder, and said, "Excuse me, I need to use the restroom." I walked through the house, out the front door, and got straight into my car. Before I even put the key in the ignition, I pulled out my phone. Dad? Blocked. Mom? Blocked. Brother, aunts, uncles, cousins? Blocked. I deleted all my social media accounts right there in the driveway. Then I put the car in drive and pulled away. The silence in my car was deafening, but for the first time in my life, it felt like oxygen. The heavy anchor of being the family's eternal punching bag had finally snapped. By Monday, I had quit my job. By Friday, I had broken my lease and paid the penalty in cash. I packed whatever fit in my trunk and drove 2,000 miles across the country. I settled in a rainy city where nobody knew my name, changed my phone number, and started completely over. I didn't leave a note. I didn't send a goodbye text. I evaporated. For 2 years, I lived in absolute beautiful peace. I got a great job in tech, made friends who actually respected me, and built a quiet life where I wasn't just a punchline to a cruel joke. I never looked back, not once. Then, last Tuesday, I heard a sharp knock on my apartment door. I opened it to find a guy in a cheap suit holding a manila folder. "Are you him?" he asked, stating my full legal name. "Who's asking?" I replied, keeping the door half closed. He handed me a business card. He was a private investigator. "Your family hired me," he said, looking almost apologetic. "They've been looking for you for 2 years. They told me you disappeared without explanation. They thought you might be dead." I let out a short, hollow laugh. "Without explanation? Is that what they told you?" "Your father," the PI continued, shifting uncomfortably. "He's in the hospital. Heart failure. His dying wish is to see you, to understand why you abandoned them." There it was. The ultimate guilt trip. The final play to make me the villain of their story. The PI handed me a cell phone. "He's on the line. He just wants to hear your voice." I stared at the phone for a long time. Then I looked at the PI. I took the phone and pressed it to my ear. "Hello?" A weak, raspy voice crackled through the speaker. "Son, is that you? Oh my god, where have you been? Your mother has been crying for 2 years. Why did you do this to us?" He sounded pathetic, broken, but I didn't feel a single shred of pity. "You hired a PI because you couldn't figure it out?" I asked, my voice completely flat. "We didn't know," he cried, coughing heavily into the receiver. "You just vanished. No note, no nothing. Please, I don't have much time left. Come home, let's fix this mistake." He used the word again. Mistake. Even now, facing his own mortality, it was hardwired into his vocabulary. "You're right," I said softly, my voice freezing the air between us. "I'm right?" he gasped, sounding hopeful. "You are right. I am a mistake," I said. "But the beautiful thing about mistakes is that you can correct them." "What does that mean?" he stammered. "It means I fixed the glitch. I removed the error from your life. You don't have a son anymore. Enjoy your heart failure." I hung up the phone. I didn't wait for his response. I handed the phone back to the son PI. "Tell them," I said, looking the investigator dead in the eyes, "if they ever send anyone to my door again, I will file a restraining order for stalking and harassment. Have a safe flight back." I shut the door, locked the deadbolt, and went back to making my dinner. I haven't heard a peep since. Some fires aren't meant to be put out. Sometimes you just have to let the bridge burn and enjoy the warmth of the flames.